All right. Stop talking, everyone. What is SQL? Who said database management system? That is SSMS. Now tell me, what is Excel basically? Is it a platform? Is it an app, software, GUI, web application? What it is? Software. What is Python? Language. Coding language. C, C++, Java? Language. Power BI? Tool. Tool means app. So what is SQL? Language. First thing, it's a language. Okay. Today's class will be completely theoretical. Okay. It is a language. First thing. Okay. What's the full form of SQL?
Structured query language.
Stands for structured. Stop talking. If someone knows better, come and teach us all. Structured query language. Now it consists of 3 keywords. Let's understand these 3 keywords now. Okay. The first keyword is structured. What's the meaning of the term structured? Structured means organized. It's a half statement. Completed. Organized in the form of table. Okay. Data organized as tables. That is rows and columns. This we have understood in our Excel also. Okay. The first term is structured. Second term is query. What is the meaning of the term query? In Power BI, query means table, correct? So what do you think query means with respect to SQL? Set of codes, set of instructions. Okay. Basically lines of codes, you can say. Line of codes, or you can also call it as set of instructions. Okay. Or you can also call as set of commands. Now, these lines or set of commands to process the database. ये query लिखने का क्या फायदा है? You want to process the databases. Okay. Third, language. Now, what is a language? What is language then? कैसे define करोगे? Technically, how will you define it? So basically, language is nothing but the collection of query and structure. So you can say that a set of codes or set of lines written to query or process the structured data available in the databases. Any doubts in these 3 terms, online and offline, guys? Structured query language. Now remember one thing, our goal is to understand SQL. Our goal is not to understand SSMS or MySQL or Oracle. हम लोग databases याद नहीं करेंगे. We are more focused on the SQL language. You work on any of the databases, the coding, 99% the coding will remain same. Okay. All right. Related to SQL, we have another term which is NoSQL. Heard about it? What a test then. What's the full form of NoSQL? Not only SQL. Okay. In the SQL, when we are talking about SQL language, it is supposed to work with structured data only, with the tables. But what if in the database you have graphs or you have diagrams? Okay, so in that case, what kind of language we are going to prefer? NoSQL. Okay. Also, give me some examples of not SQL, basically SQL databases. Okay, give me some examples of these SQL databases. Databases which operate on SQL. MySQL, Oracle, SSMS. No. Then Mongo, no. Amazon's Redshift. And there are many. Okay. When we are talking about NoSQL means to query the data which is not in structured form. Okay, that is data in the form of graphs, maybe. In the form of graphs, you can say, or any random data. Okay, for example, MongoDB, Cassandra. These are all the databases where you can have the data in any format. Okay, also, if the data is very, very huge, something like big data. Okay, so in that case, are you going to work with SQL? No, it will be NoSQL. Okay. All right. Shall we start with the next term? Yes or no? Yes, ma'am. Okay. The next term is server. What is server? Sure, let's discuss. What do you mean by server?
Central computer is connected to many.
Connected to many?
Many other computers. Computer are clients.
Clients?
Client server and the server.
Acha, okay. What else? Sharing of resources. Okay. Anything else? Online guys, what do you think? What is a server? Connection between many devices. I want answers from online guys. Are you guys sleeping? Yes. What is a server, guys? What do you think?
I mean, I think it's a medium between the database and the clients.
It's a medium between the database and the client.
Since it is taking data from databases and serving it to clients, that's why it's called a server.
Okay. Anything else? Anyone else? If I say that server stores the data, is it correct or wrong?
Yes,
is the statement correct that server stores the data? Anyone who says it is wrong, please raise your hand. Those who say the statement is wrong. Server stores the data.
It acts like a medium.
Yes, बोलने वाले कौन-कौन है? हाथ खड़े करो जरा. There were a lot of voices. Everyone is wrong. This statement is wrong. You can't say that server stores the data. Server stores the databases. Inside the databases, you have data. Okay, when I say that server stores the data, that means server is connected to the database. So all those who have said that it acts as a medium, which is the correct statement. Okay. So majority of the time, the candidate says that server stores the data. It's a completely wrong statement. Okay. So what is a server? First of all, it's a central machine. Central machine which is connected to. Now tell me, server will be connected to what all things? Yes, it will be connected to computers, PCs or laptops, such as it will be connected to networks. Basically, modems and all are part of a network only. Okay, again, a network, right? So central machine, there is a central machine which is going to be connected to the computers, or it will be connected to the networks. Okay, or also we can say databases, where databases will be part of a network. It will be a part of network. Okay. Yes, you can say that one server can be connected to the another server, but unka apna koi parent server nahi hoga. Okay. So how it actually looks like is this is a central machine. Okay. This central machine is, let's say, connected to network 1. This is your network 2. Okay. And this is your laptop 1. This is your laptop 2. Okay. Now all these 4 things will be connected to the server. Okay. Now, can I say that if this is the PC1, okay, and this is the PC2, since both of them are connected to the network, can I say that PC1 and PC2 will share the data with each other? Yes, provided you have proper authentication and logins. Okay, that is how company operates. Okay, अगर HR के पास कुछ डेटा है, वो डेटा अगर किसी और डिपार्टमेंट के साथ शेयर होगा, तो that means what, those two departments will be part of a same network, or they will share the data over a server. Okay, now this main thing, the central thing, is known as server over here. What do you think are the properties of the server? What properties it might have?
Store the database.
Security to anyway will be there. Lot of gateways and firewalls and all those protections will be there. What else? What will be the RAM size of server? So it will have pretty huge RAM size. Why we are saying that the RAM size will be more? Reason is it's going to store the data for PC1 also, PC2 also, network 1 also, network 2 also. A possibility है ना कि network 2 किसी और network के साथ भी connected हो. Okay, so this central machine is going to have very large RAM size. What next? How much time will it take to load the data from PC1 to PC2 over the server? So that means processing will be fast. Okay, so high speed will be the second property. What else? If there is one app that both the PC1 and PC2 want to use, or a software that both PC1 and PC2 want to use, will they install individually on their system? So क्या करेंगे? Server के अंदर already सारी applications पहले से install होगी. They will just work in the online format. All the applications and softwares will already be installed on the server. So it will act as a cloud. Clear to everyone? So these are the properties of the server. Okay. Properties of server. There are many that you are going to find out, but these are the most important one. The first one is high RAM storage. Second, high processing speed. Third, all softwares or apps will be pre-installed on the server so that it can be used by other connected devices. Okay. Then we have types of servers. Now tell me the types of servers. Categories of servers or types of servers. Yes, go on. What are the different types? Even if the answer is wrong, it's okay. कोई punishment नहीं मिलने वाली है, but at least participate in the discussion. What do you think are the different types of servers?
Is it dedicated server and shared server? That type of server?
No, not like that.
Any example, something means we can relate to?
Yes, one is databases. Database servers. Examples? SSMS. जो ऊपर example भी पढ़ी हैं, Oracle, MySQL, all these things are what? Database servers. Okay, MongoDB also. Okay, then we have IBM DB2 also, database by IBM. Okay, so all these are your database servers. What next? Huh? File servers, you can say, but it's like Microsoft Access. Microsoft Access is what? It's a server only, but it's a file-based servers. Okay, so yes, file servers. Example, MS Access. But it's not used that commonly. Reason is it has its limitation of storing the data up to a particular size. ठीक है, तो जो बिल्कुल होम ऑफिसेस होते हैं, द कंपनी और द पीपल हु आर वर्किंग ऑन देयर ओन, राइट, जो फ्रीलांसिंग करते हैं, दोस वर्क विद एमएस एक्सेस. ओके, व्हाट एल्स? email servers are part of which server? Email server is one of a subcategory. Go on. Web server, yes. Example? Web server के example दो. Email servers. What else? What is www? The World Wide Web is a kind of web server. Okay. What are Google servers? Web servers. All these are web servers. Okay. Okay. Anything else? You're missing out one important thing. जो हर कोई यूज करता है. किसी ने कुछ बोला अभी? हाँ, तो ऊंचा बोलो. वेब सर्वर्स वो होते हैं जो एक वेबसाइट पे या उस पे होस्ट कर रहे हैं. क्लाउड सर्वर्स आर कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट. ऑल्दो देयर इज अ वेरी थिन लाइन बट मोर और लेस दे आर प्रॉपर्टी सेम. ओके, अब क्लाउड सर्वर्स के नाम बताओ.
गूगल वर्कस्पेस.
हाँ, पावर बीआई वर्कस्पेस भी बोल सकते हो. व्हाट्सएप क्लाउड सर्विसेज. व्हाट्सएप का इतना डेटा है, एवरी पर्सन, इवन द चिल्ड्रन आर यूजिंग व्हाट्सएप. तो कहीं ना कहीं तो ये डेटा सेव हो रहा होगा. तो दैट डेटा इज बीइंग स्टोर्ड इन द फॉर्म ऑफ क्लाउड. ठीक है. ओके. Any doubt in the server's term? Any doubt in server's terminology? There are many, but these are the four main. Okay. Next term is RDBMS. Stands for Relational Database Management System. It consists of 4 keywords. Okay, let's understand these keywords now. First term is database, which is DB. Okay, database means what? How will you define a database? Collection of data stored as tables. Okay. Then we have the second term, which is called relational. What does relational means? Relation like what?
Like मैम दो टेबल्स हैं.
हाँ.
जैसे एक में मैम कस्टमर है, कस्टमर का नेम है. दूसरी टेबल में कस्टमर की आईडी है ना, कस्टमर की आईडी है, कस्टमर है, और दूसरे कस्टमर की आईडी है. तो दो रिलेटेड हो गए.
So basically creating a link between the two tables is known as relations. It's like joins. We have already studied joins and append in Power BI. Same way. Okay. So relational means what? Multiple tables are connected, or you can say linked to each other through a common field, and field is known as column. Okay. If this situation is possible, then we say that the tables are related. Okay. Then we have another term which is called management system. Now, what do you mean by this term, management system? A platform. It's going to be a platform, okay? A platform on which the databases will be managed and they will be linked. Example. Give me example of management system. SSMS is a management system. SQL Server Management Studio. Oracle is also your management system. कोई भी ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म या ऐसा एप्लीकेशन जिसके ऊपर आप SQL क्वेरीज अपनी लिख रहे हो in order to make changes in the database or work with the database, that is your management system. Okay. Any doubts in RDBMS? Okay. Next term is types of data. There are basically 3 formats of the data. First one, structured. I think we covered in Excel also. Yeah. Second is unstructured. Third is semi-structured. Okay, structure to by now it's on the tips. What does it mean? Okay, data stored as tables. Simple. Okay, example, database servers. Done. Unstructured data means stored in random form, such as Images, videos, audio, text, yes. Example, now give me example.
JSON file.
JSON files. Basically, I can say Excel. Okay. PDF, yes. ये structured है. आप उसको बनाते हो बाद में. Okay. हाँ, MP3, MP4. Yes. .jpg, .png, all these formats. .pdf. Yes, notepad. Text files, notepad files. Okay. What is semi-structured? Data stored in random form, but it has the properties to get converted into tables. Example, XML document. Okay. Also, guys, if I talk about emails, emails are which type of data? Emails. Semi? Unstructured. Emails को table में कैसे convert करोगे? Okay. So emails are also your unstructured data. Okay. All right. हाँ. Semi में HTML भी आएगा, XML भी आएगा. Now tell me one thing. This is my system. It's connected to Wi-Fi. Is my system a server now? No. Is my system acting as a database? No. The reason is, in order to make your system act as a database, आपका system किसी server से connected होना चाहिए. As of now, I am not connected to a server. Connected to Wi-Fi doesn't mean कि आप server से connected हो. In order to connect to a server, there are proper login which are provided. Email, login ID passwords होते हैं जो provide किए जाते हैं company की तरफ से. Okay, so as of now, my system is not part of any server, hence it's not acting as a database. ये मेरा local machine है बस, that's it. Okay. All right. Let's consider one example. You have customer table. Here you have order table. Okay, and here you have transaction table. Okay, now tell me one thing. Can I relate the customer and order table? Can I relate customer and order table? How we can do that? Can I relate order table and transaction table? On the basis of what? Transaction ID also. Okay, so I can say one thing over here, that for the customer table, I can say order placed by the customer. Okay, what can I say about order and transaction then? What can I say here? Transaction for each order ID. Yes or no? Each order की एक हमेशा एक unique transaction ID रहेगी. Correct? So order table will have, we can say, or relation will be, what should I write? Each order will have transaction ID. Okay, even if there is no relationship between the customer and transaction table, still I'm okay with it. Reason is कि मैं via order table to connect कर ही सकती हूँ ना. Clear to everyone? So this whole situation is known as what? Related databases. Okay. Any doubt so far? Online and offline, guys, any doubt so far in any of these terms? Okay. Next term is database architecture, or you can call it as database designer. Now, who do you think this person is? What's the role of this person who is an architecture or a designer?
design the whole data warehouse of organization.
Data warehouse? No. हाँ, someone who will decide that how your server will look like. कितने databases आएंगे, हर databases की maximum limit of tables कितनी होगी, और हर table के अंदर max कितना data store होगा. These all things are predicted and designed by whom? Database architecture. No, database engineer is responsible for collecting the data and making sure that the data is in the proper format. ठीक है? The person who will design the layout of the server. Okay, when I say layout, it means blueprint. That is how many databases will reside in the server, how many tables will be there in each database. Then maximum limit of storing the data inside the tables. Also, you can say that database architecture will suggest the design of the database. This design is known as, anyone can tell me what this design or image is known as? It's okay. Design will give you the database schema. In return, database schema will give you what? Database schema अलग चीज है basically. वो आप उसको नहीं बोल सकते. Basically, this design is known as ER diagram. It is going to be the next topic. Now try to understand one thing. What will happen? The database architecture will provide a rough image or rough diagram. Okay. फिर उसको वो final version में बनाएगा after discussing it with the other team members. जो final version diagram का बनेगा, जो blueprint बनेगा, उस blueprint को क्या बोला जाता है? ER diagram. ठीक है. अब इस ER diagram के basis पे क्या बनता है? Database schema. Okay. But anyway, database schema की बाद में बात करेंगे. So understand this thing first. This is your server. Let's say this is your server, entire server. अब इस सर्वर के अंदर कितने डेटाबेसेस आएंगे वो डेटाबेस आर्किटेक्चर डिसाइड करेगा. ओके, सो लेट्स से दीज आर द डेटाबेसेस. डेटाबेसेस 1, डेटाबेस 2, डेटाबेस 3. हर एक डेटाबेस के अंदर कितने नंबर ऑफ टेबल्स होंगे? दैट इज अ थर्ड टास्क. टेबल 1, टेबल 2, टेबल 3, टेबल 1, टेबल 2, टेबल 1. ठीक है. अब जो आपका फाइनल जो डेटा है, अगर मैं कस्टमर टेबल की बात करूं, कस्टमर इन्फो की बात करूं, वो कहां पे स्टोर होगा? इन टेबल्स के अंदर. ओके, तो आउटर लेयर है सर्वर, सर्वर के अंदर डेटाबेस, डेटाबेस के अंदर टेबल्स, टेबल के अंदर फाइनल इंफॉर्मेशन. तो जो मैंने पहले स्टेटमेंट बोली थी कि सर्वर स्टोर्स द डेटा, वो गलत थी. क्लियर टू एवरीवन? ओके, एनी डाउट इन द डेटाबेस आर्किटेक्चर? ओके, next term that we have is ER diagram. Which basically stands for entity relationship diagram. Okay, so there is one term which is called entity, and there is second term which is called relationship. Now relationship, so we have already studied in Power BI, so there is no difference, it's same. Okay, but what is the meaning of the term entity? I think ये हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था कभी. हाँ, a real life object is called entity. Okay, give me examples. Customer, order, products, department, employees, ठीक है, locations. कोई भी ऐसी चीज जिसके ऊपर आप टेबल बना सकते हो, that is known as entity. Okay. What is relationship then? Multiple entities will be related to each other with the help of relationships. Which are of how many types? 4 types. First, one-to-one. Second, one-to-many. Third, many-to-one. Fourth, many-to-many. Okay. Another thing is how these diagrams basically look like. Entities are represented by, anyone can tell me the symbol? Rectangle. Relationships are represented by diamond shape, only diamond shape. Arrows or straight line. Okay. Now, ER diagram consists of one important thing. ER diagram consists of 3 things. Name the 3 things. One will be entity. Second, attributes. Third, relationships. Keys are basically database schema. Okay, so ER diagram, जब भी ER diagram बनेगा, उस ER diagram के अंदर ये तीनों चीजें हमेशा से आपको define की जाएंगी. Okay, now entities we know is represented by rectangle. Relationships are represented by arrows or line. What do you think attributes will be represented by? Huh? Circle or oval? Attributes. What are attributes basically? First define this term. Subcategory of? Be more precise. What do you mean by subcategory?
Attributes are properties of entity basically.
हाँ, they are properties of entities. अब अगर मैं customer की बात करूं, customer is your entity. अब customer की properties बताओ.
ID, name, and phone number.
Name, customer ID, location, age, gender, all these are known as what? Attributes. Okay, so we can say that attributes, they are the properties of the entity. Example, customer entity has attributes such as name, ID, location, gender, age, DOB, and the other things. Okay. Now, entities are something that will be known as the table name. Attributes will be something called the columns of those tables. Okay, तो ये customer table है और इस customer table के columns कौन है? Name, ID, location. So these are nothing but the attributes. Okay, let's see how we can represent them in the form of a diagram. Okay, so this is the first entity. This is the second entity. And this is the third entity. Okay. Let's call it as customer. This will be order. This will be transaction. Okay. Now the attributes will be represented by oval. Let me write it over here. Attributes are represented by oval shape. Okay, let's draw the relationships now. Relationship from here to here. then from the order table to the transaction table. Okay. Now, attributes of customer. First, second, third, let's say 4 we are considering. Okay, this will be ID. Okay, this will be the name of the customer. This will be age of the customer. Okay, and let's call it as maybe phone number. Okay, now how will you relate or combine the entity with the attributes? It's with the help of a straight line. No arrow, no dash line, nothing, just a simple straight line. Okay. First attribute. Let me change the color. Okay. All right. Then this is the second. This is third. And this is fourth. Clear to everyone? Rectangle, entity, oval, attributes. That means the column names. Now, same way, you will have for the order table, order ID, order name, order date. What else will you have? Customer ID. That is how you will relate two tables, na? This is your order ID. This was order date. Okay. Anything else we can add? Order ID, order date, customer ID, product ID maybe. Again, these attributes will be linked to their concerned entities. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Same thing will happen for the transaction. So here I'll have transaction ID. Followed by transaction date. Okay. Then we'll have transaction amount. Okay. And one more important thing, status. Status be order ID be, whether the transaction is completed or not. And here we can add order ID. Table I can drag it. Done. This complete picture over here is known as ER diagram. Okay. Now, sometimes what happens, why we are understanding the ER diagram, sometimes what happens, database architecture forwards the ER diagram to the data analyst to understand the data kya hai. Okay. So it's important that you understand what these rectangles, lines, and all these things are representing. Okay. Now, defining the relationship. What type of relationship will be there between the customer and the order table? One to one customer can have many order IDs. Okay. Now, either the relationships in the ER diagram will be represented something like this. Like within the arrow, they are going to mention 1:many. Okay. And what will be the relationship between the order and the transaction? 1:1. Every order ID will have one transaction ID. So it will be 1:1. Okay. Either the relationships will be denoted like this. Or sometimes what happens, they might denote it like this, a straight line. Okay, so here you have many relationship, many is represented by like this. Okay, so this is 1:many. Okay, 1:1 will be represented either with a line with nothing else or with 1 over here, and obviously 1 will be here also. Okay, so what I can do is I can just draw it next to over here. You can write it down or take a screenshot later. 1:1 will be a line with 1 on both the sides. Okay, 1:many will be what? 1 on this side, and many will be represented by 0, 1 or many. Okay, many:1 will be the reciprocal of this. It will be 1 over here and many will be on to this side. Okay, and many:many will be what? Like this. Okay, done everyone? So this is about the ER diagram. Okay. Also tell me one thing, from the customer table, from the ER diagram, which column will give me the unique records? ID. So whichever attribute which gives you the unique records will be represented by oval sign but with a underline. अभी primary की मत बोलो, बाकी confuse हो जाएंगे. Okay, let me add the line here. Okay, so ID will act as a column which gives you the unique records. Who will give me the unique records from the order table? Order ID. And what about the transaction table? Transaction ID. Now I can say my ER diagram is complete. Clear to everyone? Now, what is this attribute known as? That we'll see later. There are 4 to 5 different types of attributes. Okay. But anyway, any doubt in the ER diagrams? Online and offline guys, any doubt in the ER diagrams? Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's stop for a break. After the break, we'll discuss what are the different types of attributes, and also we'll start with the concept of keys. Okay. We'll start at 11:20. Yes, any doubt in any of the topics from the SQL that we have discussed so far? Stop talking now. It means from this transaction table, if I have to take a unique record, तो transaction कौन identify करेगा? Transaction ID करेगा ना? Transaction ID के related order ID होगा. ठीक है, आप order ID से तो transaction को नहीं कर पाओगे ना, वो तब है अगर आप दोनों table देंगे. ठीक है? Keep the laptops on mute, please. The next topic that we are going to discuss is keys and its types. What's the meaning of the term keys? The attributes through which the tables will be connected. Okay. I think there are 6 to 7 types of keys. But with respect to SQL, we are only going to talk about 2 keys, primary and foreign. That's it. Okay. The other keys that we have, we are going to discuss. But when you're talking about the database schema, there are only 2 types of keys that we are concerned with, primary and foreign. Okay. For SQL database schema, We'll discuss this term database schema later. We will work with only two types of keys. One is your primary key and second one is your foreign key. Okay, but anyway, let's discuss all of them. What are the different types of keys? First is primary key. Second is foreign key. Third, composite primary key. Fourth, super key. Fifth, candidate key. Sixth, alternate key. Yeah, I think these are the 6 types. Okay. First thing, primary key versus foreign key. Okay, point number 1. What is a primary key? A attribute, an attribute, or group of attributes. It can be a single column or it can be a collection of more than one column. Group of attributes that define the unique records in the table. When I say unique records, it means entire row. जो पूरी row को uniquely define करे, that is your primary key. Okay. What is a foreign key then? A key or group of keys, or not key basically, an attribute or group of attributes. That you can say define the primary key of the other table. That is, it points to the primary key. I'm denoting primary key with the keyword PK, okay, of the other table or tables. Okay, second point. A primary key can only be either 1 or 0. A table will have only one primary key, not more than that. या 1 होगा या तो होगा ही. Okay. When we are talking about the foreign key, a table can have 0, 1, or many foreign keys. Okay. Third, primary key can never be null. It can never be empty. कोई भी ऐसा कॉलम प्राइमरी की नहीं बनेगा जिसके अंदर null values होंगी. ठीक है. Whereas when we are talking about the foreign key, a foreign key can be null. These are the primary differences between the primary key and the foreign key. Okay. Now, if I go back to my ER diagram, can I say ID over here is acting as a primary key for the customer? Order ID is acting as a primary key for the order table. Transaction ID is acting as a primary key for the transaction table. Okay. So again, you can say that any attribute which is going to give the unique records is going to act as a primary key, and how you will denote that primary key in the ER diagram, oval with the underline. Clear to everyone? Okay. For example, to understand what this primary and foreign key is, we have customer table. In the customer table, let's say the columns are customer ID, name, gender, DOB, mobile, email. Let's say these are the columns. Then we have something called over here order table. Orders. Okay. In the order table, I have order ID, I have customer ID, then we have order date, then maybe order amount, okay, and transaction ID maybe. Okay, now in the customer table, this is your primary key. In the orders table, this is a primary key. Any doubts about it? Okay, in the orders table, what is the definition of foreign key? Any column or group of columns that point to the primary key of the other table. Now if you look at this, this is a customer ID, but this customer ID is acting as a primary key in the other table. So here this customer ID will act as what? Foreign key. This is a definition. Do I have any foreign key in the customer table? No. Okay, so that is what we have written. Foreign key can be 1, 0 or many. Okay, so here I can say this customer ID over here is acting as a foreign key as it points to the primary key of customer table. Any doubts in primary and foreign key now? Online guys, any doubt? Shall we discuss the other keys then? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay. फॉरेन की नल हो सकती है if actually there is a schema. Let me open that PDF. Sorry. Okay, one thing. This picture is known as database schema. Okay, we'll come back to this PDF later. This is your ER diagram. Anyway, the point is from the ER diagram, you are going to get this type of a thing. Okay, where employee table, yellow color part is your entity. All the remaining things are the attributes, which are the column name. All these multiple tables will get converted into one single diagram like this, which is known as your database schema. Okay, now in this database schema, can you find out the primary keys of the tables? They are being represented with this key symbol. Okay, is there any table which doesn't have a primary key? This doesn't have a primary key. This is the definition. A table can have either 1 or 0 primary key. Is there any column over here which is acting as a foreign key? Although it's not created. What if you have to create one? Order item is over here. This order ID is pointing out to this thing. Okay, next scenario. How will you join these two tables? On the basis of which column? Complaint order and the work order table. How you can join these two tables? Customer ID. Then house ID. Anything else? No, these status will be different. Anything else? This is the order ID of the complaint. This is the order ID of the work. These are not same. So is it correct to say that always it's not possible कि primary keys के basis पे ही joining होगी? It's correct, right? Here I am having the primary key order ID of complaint. Here I have the order ID of the work. But are these going to be same? No. So primary keys के basis पे हमेशा table join होंगे. That is not possible. Second thing, these are not the primary keys. Here also this is not a primary key. So your table will join on the basis of non-primary keys. अब इन दोनों में से कोई foreign key बन सकता है? क्या मैं इस हाउस आईडी को यहाँ पे लिंक कर सकती हूँ इस हाउस आईडी के साथ? कर सकते हो. अगर आप इस में देखो हाउस आईडी यहाँ पे प्राइमरी की है. क्लियर? तो नल की सिचुएशन किस केस में होगी? इस केस में। आपका क्वेश्चन था कि ऐसा कौन सा सिचुएशन है जहाँ पे फॉरेन की नल हो सकती है, ठीक है। मान लो ये टेबल नहीं था, ठीक है, तो पॉसिबल, ये तो मेरे को पता है कि ये दोनों नल कभी नहीं होंगे, बट बाकी दो तो नल हो सकते हैं ना, ठीक है। और दूसरी बात, अगर मैं बोलूंगी हाउस आईडी इस टेबल पे लिंक कर रहा है, तो पॉसिबिलिटी है वो नल सिचुएशन हो सकती है, तो ये पॉसिबल है यहाँ, ठीक है। एनीवे, दिस डेटाबेस स्कीमा इज बेसिकली अ केस स्टडी दैट वी आर गोइंग टू डू इट इन द क्लास। हाँ, हो सकता है सीईओ का एम्प्लॉय आईडी या मैनेजर आईडी। हाँ, मैनेजर आईडी नहीं, एम्प्लॉय आईडी होगा, मैनेजर नहीं होगा, ठीक है, वो भी केस हो सकता है, ठीक है। बट एनीवे, विल कम बैक टू दिस डायग्राम लेटर बिकॉज दिस इज अ फुल फ्लेज केस स्टडी, ओके। All right. Next type of key that we have is, let's discuss super key, candidate key, and alternate key. Okay. Consider one example. We have customer data. Okay. In the customer data, we have columns as name, date of birth, phone number, customer ID. These are the 4 columns. Okay. Customer ID is 1, 2, 3, 4. Customer names are John. Then I can say it's John S, and here we can say John M. Okay. Here we have Mary, and here we have Smith. Okay. They have particular DOBs like 12, 12, 19, 90. Then 12, 11, 1980. 12, 12, 1990 again. And here we have something like this. Okay. And they have phone numbers 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 2. Something like that. Okay. Now, which is going to act as a primary key over here? Only customer ID. Any column which gives you the unique records. कौन unique records दे रहा है? Phone number and customer ID. Can I go with the names? Names can be multiple. Can I go with DOB? No. Okay. Now we have to figure out, once the table is available, who is going to decide the primary key? It's the job of database developer. That means architecture. ठीक है, तो जो आपका ये डेटाबेस ईआर डायग्राम बनाएगा, डेटाबेस स्कीमा बनाएगा, उसी को डिसाइड करना है कि प्राइमरी की कौन बनेगा। प्रोवाइडेड डेटाबेस एडमिन ने उसको डेटा प्रोवाइड कर दिया, इंजीनियर ने सारा डेटा उसको दे दिया, अब उसको प्राइमरी की बनानी है, ठीक है। बट वी नो द डेटा इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी ह्यूज, so how the primary key is decided? Is it a random selection? No. Okay, so what happens is we have to figure out these 3 things first. Okay, so step number 1, first thing, primary key is decided by database developer, also known as architect. Okay, now what happens in deciding the primary key? First of all, consider all the combinations of the attributes. Okay, so first thing, single column combinations, then 2 column combinations, 3 column combinations, 4 column combinations. Since we have 4 columns in our data, so these will be the combinations. अब single combination में कौन कौन आएगा? Customer ID alone. When we are talking about single combination, that means a key which consists of only single column. ठीक है, तो customer ID, name, DOB, phone number. ये 4 possibilities हैं जहां पे एक कॉलम है. What's the second situation? 2 column combo. अब 2 कॉलम्स को कंबाइन करके आपको यूनिक रिकॉर्ड्स देने हैं, ठीक है। तो कौन कौन हो सकता है? सबसे पहले कस्टमर आईडी गेटिंग ज्वाइंट विद नेम, ठीक है, देन कस्टमर आईडी गेटिंग ज्वाइंट विद डीओबी, देन कस्टमर आईडी गेटिंग ज्वाइंट विद फोन नंबर. इसके बाद ये तो कस्टमर आईडी कॉलम कंप्लीट हुआ. अब नेम की बात करो, नेम प्लस डीओबी, नेम प्लस फोन नंबर, ठीक है. देन वी हैव डीओबी, DOB plus phone number. Then DOB plus customer ID we already have. DOB plus name. Have we taken that thing? Yes, it's already there. One and the same thing. हम वो तो अभी पॉसिबिलिटीज ले रहे हैं, अभी हमने डिसाइड थोड़ी ना करा है, हम तो अभी कॉम्बिनेशंस बना रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो दिस इज अ 2 कॉलम कॉम्बिनेशन. क्या इससे ज्यादा कॉम्बिनेशंस बन सकते हैं ऊपर वाले टेबल के लिए? डन. देन 3 कॉलम कॉम्बिनेशन, कस्टमर आईडी प्लस नेम प्लस DOB, देन कस्टमर आईडी plus name plus phone number. What else? Name plus DOB plus phone number. Anything else? What will be the 4 column combination? Customer ID plus name plus DOB plus phone number. Now all these combinations are bound to give me the unique records. किसमें? कस्टमर आईडी प्लस हाँ बनेगा वो भी. कस्टमर आईडी प्लस फोन प्लस DOB ना, हाँ बन जाएगा. ठीक है. नाउ दीज आर ऑल द कॉम्बिनेशंस which are going to give us the unique records. This is a set of super keys. These all will be known as super keys. Okay. Clear to everyone? Second, from the above set of super keys, select those combinations which will give unique records. ओके तो कौन कौन से कॉम्बिनेशन है जो यूनिक रिकॉर्ड्स देंगे? सिंगल में से कौन कौन आएगा? कस्टमर आईडी. देन सिंगल कॉम्बिनेशन में से कौन यूनिक रिकॉर्ड देगा? फोन. दैट्स इट. सिर्फ ये दो. आई कैन राइट फ्रॉम हियर फ्रॉम सिंगल कॉम्बो. फ्रॉम 2 column combo, who will be? One minute. Okay, from 2 column combo, customer ID plus I can go with name also. ठीक है. What else? Customer ID plus DOB, customer ID plus phone number. उसके अलावा नेम प्लस DOB हो सकता है. 2 लोगों का सेम नाम होने के बावजूद सेम DOB भी तो हो सकती है. होता है बट चांसेस आते हैं. कम हो ज्यादा हो बट चांसेस तो है ना. ठीक है. देन नेम प्लस फोन नंबर. ओके. DOB प्लस फोन नंबर. एनी डाउट्स इन दीज थिंग्स? तो जो आपने ऊपर सबसे पहले सारे कॉम्बिनेशंस बनाए थे 2 कॉलम में से, उसमें से सिर्फ क्या छूटा? नेम प्लस DOB. ठीक है. फ्रॉम 3 column कॉम्बो कौन देगा यूनिक रिकॉर्ड्स? कस्टमर आईडी प्लस नेम प्लस DOB. जिसके साथ कस्टमर आईडी या फोन नंबर लग गया मतलब कि वो कॉम्बिनेशन आपका सक्सेसफुल है. तो ऑल दीज थिंग्स विल कम अप ओवर हियर. एंड फ्रॉम द 4th column combo, all 4 of them. This entire thing is your option of candidate keys. From the super keys, you have selected all those combinations which are going to give you the unique records. ठीक है. बट अब इसमें से आपको फिर से शफल आउट करना है. अब आपको वो कॉम्बिनेशंस बताने हैं, यूनिक कॉम्बिनेशंस जहां पे वो यूनिक कॉलम्स जहां पे कॉम्बिनेशंस बहुत कम थे. ऐसे कितने कॉलम्स हैं जहां पे कॉम्बिनेशन बहुत कम लगा है और स्टिल मेरे को यूनिक रिकॉर्ड्स मिल रहे हैं? कौन कौन है वो? सिर्फ ये दोनों मेरे को दे सकते हैं ना यूनिक रिकॉर्ड्स, चाहे मैं बाकी कॉम्बिनेशंस यूज भी ना करूं. तो मैं ये कह सकती हूँ कि ये चीजें बाहर निकल जाएंगी फिर यहाँ से. क्लियर? अब जब मैंने इसको रिमूव करा यहाँ पे, तो अब जो मेरे पास पीछे कॉम्बिनेशन बचा है दैट इज गोइंग टू बी एक्टिंग एज योर कैंडिडेट. ओके. तो यहाँ पे स्टेटमेंट चेंज कर देते हैं. फ्रॉम द अबव सेट ऑफ सुपर की सेलेक्ट those minimum combinations which will give unique records. Clear to everyone? Any doubt still here? किसी को डाउट है तो अभी पूछ लो. वो तो शफल करा था ना. इट्स अ 2 स्टेप प्रोसेस. अल्टीमेटली रिजल्ट यही है आपका, चाहे आपको पहले कर लो. मैंने उसको 2 पार्ट में डिवाइड कर दिया, आप डायरेक्टली भी कर सकते हो. ये तो टेबल छोटा है, बड़ा टेबल होगा तो क्या करोगे? इसमें तो कस्टमर आईडी और फोन नंबर, ईमेल अगर होता तो ईमेल भी तो क्वालिफाई करता ना यूनिकनेस के लिए. आधार कार्ड, पासपोर्ट नंबर, ऑल दीज आर यूनिक थिंग्स. क्लियर? तो व्हाट इज द फर्स्ट स्टेप? सारे कॉम्बिनेशंस बनाओ जो आपको यूनिक रिकॉर्ड्स दे सकते हैं. दोस कॉम्बिनेशंस विल बी नोन एज सुपर कीज. From the set of super keys, you are going to select those columns which are required with minimum combination, but still मुझे unique record मिल रहा है. So I have 2 options with me. Either I can go with customer ID or I can go with phone number. अब ये दोनों चीजें क्वालिफाई करती है प्राइमरी की बनने के लिए. करेक्ट? बट इसमें से प्राइमरी की बनाओगे किसको? Yes, what do you think? Who will act as a primary key? Customer ID or phone number? Why? कस्टमर आईडी भी चेंज होती है. अगर किसी ने मेरी सर्विसेज परमानेंटली बंद कर दी तो मेरी तो आईडी रिलीज हो जाएगी ना. फिर एम्प्लॉय आईडी का भी यही होता है. कोई एम्प्लॉय जब रिजाइन करता है उसकी आईडी फिर किसी और को मिलती है. किसकी फॉरेन कीज? एनी अदर रीजन? अच्छा, एक रीजन है कि स्टोरेज ज्यादा होगी. फोन नंबर में 10 डिजिट्स आएंगे, कस्टमर आईडी में एट द मैक्स 4 या 5 होंगे. चलो ये भी हो गया. इसके अलावा और रीजन बताओ. व्हाई नॉट फोन नंबर एक्ट एज अ प्राइमरी की? इट्स बिकॉज ऑफ सिक्योरिटी रीजंस. किसी के पास अगर मेरा फोन नंबर चला जाए, आज के टाइम पे साइबर क्राइम इज एट द पीक. किसी के पास आपका फोन नंबर चला जाए तो क्या क्या इन्फॉर्मेशन निकल सकती है? आपकी बैंक डिटेल्स निकल जाएंगी. Your bank account is linked with your phone number. Phone number is further linked with Aadhaar card, PAN card, और क्या होता है? License number also. ठीक है? तो select that column as a primary key जिससे personal information extract ना हो पाए. अगर किसी की कस्टमर आईडी पता चल जाए, क्या इन्फॉर्मेशन निकाल लोगे वहां से? ज्यादा से ज्यादा यही पता लगेगा ना कि कितना ऑर्डर प्लेस करा है. बाकी इन्फॉर्मेशन कैसे निकलेगी? आप ऑफिस की बात करो, आपको अगर किसी का फोन नंबर और आधार नंबर पता है एम्प्लॉय का, तो स्कैम होने के चांसेस हैं. बट अगर किसी को सिर्फ एम्प्लॉय आईडी पता है, क्या इन्फॉर्मेशन निकाल लोगे वहां से? एम्प्लॉय आईडी से आप बाकी की इन्फॉर्मेशन निकाल सकते हो, बट उसके लिए आपके हैकिंग स्किल्स बहुत स्ट्रांग होनी चाहिए. एंड मोर ओवर, अगर मेरे को किसी की एम्प्लॉय आईडी पता है 1 2 3, मेरे को ऐसा उसकी कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन पता नहीं लगेगी. ज्यादा से ज्यादा उसका नेम पता चल जाएगा. ठीक है? बट अगर मेरे को किसी का फोन नंबर पता है या आधार नंबर पता है, तो कितनी सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन लीक हो सकती है. दिस इज द रीजन एंड दिस इज हाउ यू डिसाइड द प्राइमरी की. क्लियर? ये कोई हिट एंड ट्रायल मेथड नहीं होता कि कस्टमर आईडी को प्राइमरी की बना दो. देयर इज अ फुल रिसर्च एट द बैक. ठीक है? तो हाउ विल यू डिसाइड द प्राइमरी की? फ्रॉम द कैंडिडेट की ऑप्शंस, select that column as primary key which reveals no or very less personal information. ओके, तो इस केस में आपका प्राइमरी की कौन बनेगा? कस्टमर आईडी. एनी डाउट्स कि कैसे प्राइमरी की डिसाइड होती है? तो ऑन एंड ऑल यू कैन ऑल्सो से दैट सुपर की इज अ सुपर सेट ऑफ ऑल द कॉम्बिनेशंस. इस कॉम्बिनेशन से क्या निकालोगे? कैंडिडेट की. अब इस सुपर सेट से, सॉरी, सबसेट से क्या निकालोगे? प्राइमरी. ओके, एंड दिस इज अ जॉब ऑफ डेटाबेस आर्किटेक्चर. ठीक है? एनी डाउट्स इन प्राइम, सॉरी, सुपर, कैंडिडेट एंड प्राइमरी की? ओके, एक टर्मिनोलॉजी रह गई है, दैट इज द ऑल्टरनेट की. ऑल्टरनेट कीज क्या होती है? एनी आइडिया व्हाट इज एन ऑल्टरनेट की? कैंडिडेट कीज की कौन कौन ऑप्शन थी? कस्टमर आईडी एंड फोन नंबर. कस्टमर आईडी आपका क्या बना? फोन नंबर क्या रह जाएगा? ऑल्टरनेट की, जिसके चांसेस थे प्राइमरी की बनने के, बट वो बन नहीं पाया. ओके, ऑल दोज कॉलम्स which are left, which, or we can say which did not become primary key is called alternate key. Okay. Example. Phone number. Okay. And then we have last type, which is known as composite primary key. Any idea what is composite primary key? Two primary keys. If a single column acts as a prime acts, or we can say if a single column gives unique records, it is called primary key. We know this thing. Okay. If a group of multiple columns act, or we can say columns gives unique record, it is called composite primary key. अगर तो एक कॉलम आपको यूनिक रिकॉर्ड दे रहा है, फॉर एग्जांपल कस्टमर आईडी, फिर तो वो कहलाएगा प्राइमरी की. बट अगर मान लो कि कॉम्बिनेशन यूज कर लो, फॉर एग्जांपल अगर कस्टमर आईडी नहीं होता यहाँ पे, ठीक है, और यहाँ पे मान लो क्या होता, लेट मी गिव अनदर एग्जांपल. वी हैव नेम, जेंडर, डीओबी, दैट्स इट. अगर 3 कॉलम्स होते हैं, ठीक है. नेम इज जॉन, हेयर ऑल्सो इट्स जॉन एंड हेयर इट्स स्मिथ. ठीक है. जेंडर इज मेल, मेल, मेल. ठीक है. एंड डीओबी इज लेट्स से now who can give me unique records? फिर एक और चीज ऐड करो यहाँ पे, ईमेल. और अब बताओ, who will give you the unique records? Can alone name act as a primary key? No. Alone gender? No. Alone DOB? No. अब combinations की बात करो, name and DOB. अगर मैं name and DOB को यूज करूं तो मेरे को प्राइमरी की मिल जाएगी. कितने कॉलम यूज हो रहे हैं, एक या दो, तो आप इसको प्राइमरी की नहीं बोलोगे, क्या बोलोगे? कंपोजिट प्राइमरी. ठीक है. तो हियर नेम, सॉरी, and DOB both combined gives unique records. Hence, it is called composite primary key instead of primary key. This is the difference. किसमें? अगर नेम अलग है, डीओबी भी अलग है, दोनों कंबाइंड अलग अलग है, तभी आप उसको कंपोजिट प्राइमरी की बोलोगे. अगर कहीं पे सेम हो गया, फिर वो प्राइमरी की एक्ट नहीं करेगा. ठीक है. Yes, any doubts in the types of keys now? यूनिकनेस तो चेक करोगे तो इट्स नॉट अ 5 और 10 मिनट प्रोसेस. इसमें बहुत टाइम लगता है प्राइमरी की डिसाइड करने में. तो जब डेटा एनालिस्ट के पास डेटा आता है ना, उसका 50% काम पहले से हो रखा होता है. दैट इज द रोल ऑफ डेटाबेस डेवलपर. कई बार क्या होता है, कुछ कंपनीज क्या करती हैं, दे असाइन डेटाबेस डेवलपर एंड डेटाबेस इंजीनियर रोल टू वन पर्सन. तो ये कंपनी टू कंपनी वेरी करती है चीज. ठीक है. नाउ टेक 2 minutes and let me know if you have doubts in the keys. प्राइमरी की को यूनिक की बोलते हैं. प्राइमरी की हमेशा यूनिक रिकॉर्डिंग तो देगा. Yes, any doubts? Online guys, any doubt? From the data science perspective, we are only going to focus on primary and the foreign key. But interviews में if someone is applying for the database engineer role, ठीक है, तो उस केस में आपको बाकी कीज पता होनी चाहिए. ठीक है. Sometimes what happens, this basically happens in startups. Startups में क्या होता है, डेटाबेस इंजीनियर और एनालिस्ट एक ही बंदा होता है. ठीक है. Okay. Let's see what all we have discussed. We know what a server is. We have discussed database, DBMS and RDBMS. Okay, these are the different types of databases that you have. Then terminologies we have already discussed. What is a record? What is a field? Record is known as row, field is known as column. Okay. Then look at the database design process. First step, you have to gather the requirement. From that requirement gathering, what will you create? A blueprint. That blueprint is known as ER diagram. From that ER diagram, what will it give us? Basically the database design, which is a logical database design, and that is known as what? Database schema, or you can call it as a relational model. कि कैसे दो tables आपस में linked है. ठीक है? And this is what we have seen. This is your database schema. Okay. अब जब ये database schema बन गया, उसके बाद क्या होगा? Physical implementation of the server. फिर finally server बनाया जाएगा. ठीक है? Okay. Then the types of attributes, guys. These are the different types of attributes. First is simple attribute. That attribute which you can't divide any further. For example, phone number है. Phone number को क्या आप दो parts में divide कर सकते हो? Will it give any information? No. Same thing goes for Aadhaar card. Same thing goes for your PAN number. Okay. Anything which cannot be further divided. Email ID क्या आप उसको divide करके दो information ले सकते हो? Then we have composite attribute. What does it say? More than one attributes are combined together. For example, first name, middle name, last name. इन तीनों को combine करके क्या मिलेगा? Full name. Any other example you can give me? Composite attribute, जहाँ पे multiple columns को combine करके आपको एक information मिल जाए. Address, house number, street or locality, then city, pin code, state, country. इन सबको combine करके क्या मिलेगा? Proper address, and that will be known as what? Composite attribute. ठीक है? Next we have is the derived attribute. Derived attribute is that attribute कि already एक column था, उससे आपने एक और information निकाली. For example, you knew date of birth. DOB था. DOB column से क्या निकाल सकते हो? Age. तो age आपका क्या कहलाएगा? Derived attribute. कोई और example दो. हाँ, you have DOJ. DOJ से आपको पता चल जाएगा कि कितने साल हो गए हैं. The person is working in a company. So number of years will be known as what? Derived attribute. ठीक है? Then single value attribute. Attribute that contains only single value. क्या मैं phone number को What is a single value attribute? Any attribute that contains a single value. क्या मैं phone number को single value attribute बोल सकती हूँ? A person can have two phone numbers. Okay. Can I say email ID is a single value attribute? एक बंदे की दो email IDs भी हो सकती है. But क्या एक आदमी के दो आधार कार्ड होंगे? No. So आधार कार्ड, social security number. Social security number is nothing but the आधार card of US people. Okay. And PAN card number. All these will contain single value. हाँ. It will be considered as simple also and single also. Name आपका क्या हो सकता है? हाँ, अगर आप वो पेट नेम वाली कंसीडर नहीं कर रहे हो सिचुएशन तो यस. ठीक है. देन व्हाट इज मल्टी वैल्यू एट्रीब्यूट? जिसके एक से ज्यादा वैल्यूज हो सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल फोन नंबर, ईमेल आईडी. और कोई एग्जांपल? हाँ, बैंक अकाउंट नंबर. आपके मल्टीपल बैंक अकाउंट्स भी हो सकते हैं. एड्रेस भी हो सकते हैं, बिल्कुल हो सकते हैं. तो एड्रेस विल आल्सो बी अ मल्टी वैल्यू. ठीक है. दूसरी बात, कैन आई ट्रीट मल्टी वैल्यू एट्रीब्यूट एज अ प्राइमरी की? ठीक है. So these are the 5 different types of attributes. I'm not going to write it in the Excel. It's there in the PDF. You can get it from here. Okay. अगर किसी का सेकेंडरी एड्रेस हो तो अगर मेरी मल्टीपल प्रॉपर्टीज है, जब आप अपना टैक्स रिटर्न करते हो या आप बैंक को अपनी बैंक अकाउंट खोलते हो तो वो सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन बताते हैं ना कि अपने एड्रेसेस बताओ क्या क्या है. तो आप वहां पे एक एड्रेस थोड़ी ना देते हो. वो तो चॉइस होती है कि योर सेकेंडरी एड्रेस इज सेम एज दैट ऑफ योर परमानेंट एड्रेस. बट अगर अलग अलग हो तो ओके. प्राइमरी की डन, फॉरेन की डन, रिलेशनशिप टाइप्स वी हैव ऑलरेडी अंडरस्टूड इन पावर बीआई. दिस इज अ ईआर मॉडल. Look at this. This is the ER diagram for the employee table. अब ER model से आप database schema कैसे बनाओगे? All you have to do is whatever is written in the rectangle, that is going to act as what? Table name. Whatever is there in the oval, that will be what? Column names, right? And whatever is with the oval and the underline, that will be what? Primary. Okay. Okay. Next thing, why to use SQL? Tell me the reasons why to work with SQL. Wait. First reason is to extract. What's the another term for extract? Fetch. What else? Access. Mining. Retrieve. Retrieve the data from databases. That's the first reason. What else? To manipulate. What else I can use for manipulate? Transform. Better will be modifications. Although they sound similar, but technically देखा जाए तो transformation is related to BI. ठीक है? Modify. Anything else? Alter. Okay. The data inside the databases. Okay. Next. Access control. तो वो part 1 में भी आ जाएगा ना? Anything else? What else you can do on the database? To create remove the data from the databases. That is point number 3 only. So these are the reasons why we are going to use SQL. To create a new table in the database, then to enter the data inside that. Second, already a table is there, you want to remove it. Third, a table is already there, data is already there, you want to update it. Update, modification, alter, change, all are one same thing. Okay. And the last thing is what? You just want to take out the data. You want to just display. आपको कुछ नहीं change करना, सिर्फ देखना है कि data है क्या. So that is your fetching or retrieval. As a data analyst, we will be more focused on point number 1. Retrieval or extraction. So we are going to work with select statement only. But क्या हम बाकी statements के बारे में पढ़ेंगे? Yes. ठीक है? But your job as a data analyst, day in day out काम किसके साथ होता है? Select statement के साथ. ठीक है? All right. Let me create a new sheet. Yes. Any doubts before I start with the next topic? Any doubts in the keys or any doubts in any of the SQL concepts? Okay. The next thing is SQL statements. What are the different SQL statements? There are 4 types of SQL statements. First is DDL. Second, DML. Third, DCL. Fourth, TCL. Okay. Now, what does these words mean? DDL stands for Data Definition Language. DML stands for Data Manipulation Language. DCL stands for Data Control Language. And TCL? Transaction Control Language. Okay. Now, what does DDL basically do? Only creates a table. मॉडिफाई भी कर सकते हैं. It will work on the structure of table or database. When I say structure of table or database, what do you mean by this term structure? Structure means layout. You are not going to manipulate the data inside the databases or the table, but how that structure looks like. डेटाबेस का कौन सा डेटा टाइप होता है? हाँ, स्ट्रक्चर को आप स्कीमा भी बोल सकते हो. ठीक है. व्हाट आर द डीडीएल स्टेटमेंट्स? क्रिएट, सेलेक्ट, क्रिएट, ऑल्टर, ड्रॉप, वन मोर, ट्रंकेट. हाँ, रीनेम. क्रिएट मीन्स क्रिएटिंग द टेबल और क्रिएटिंग द डेटाबेस. दैट्स इट. ओके. उसके अंदर का जो रिकॉर्ड्स आपको एंटर करने हैं, दैट इज डीएमएल. ओके. ऑल्टर मीन्स व्हाट? कॉलम नेम चेंज करना है. ठीक है. हाँ, कॉलम नेम, डेटाबेस नेम, टेबल नेम, एनीथिंग दैट यू वांट टू चेंज. मॉडिफाई बेसिकली मीन्स चेंजिंग द डेटा ऑफ द टेबल्स. फॉर एग्जांपल, आपने गलती से किसी की एज 38 स्टोर कर दी, बट जबकि वो 28 था. ठीक है. व्हाट इज ड्रॉप? डेटाबेस या टेबल पूरा का पूरा रिमूव करोगे. ट्रंकेट क्या होता है? ये आपका टास्क होगा. कल मैं सबसे पहले यही क्वेश्चन पूछूंगी. व्हाट्स द डिफरेंस बिटवीन ड्रॉप, डिलीट, ट्रंकेट? मेरे को कॉमन डिफरेंस नहीं चाहिए कि ये डीएमएल है, ये डीडीएल है, या ये रिमूव करेगा, वो रिमूव करेगा. दैट इज अ 50% आंसर. I'll give you a hint. The difference is related to one of the constraints of SQL. ठीक है. अब ये रिसर्च करके आना पड़ेगा. ठीक है. कमेंट या कमिट? हाँ, होता है, बट मेनली वी वर्क विद दीज थिंग्स. ठीक है. ओके. What are DML statements? What they will do? DML, अगर DDL आपका स्ट्रक्चर पे काम कर रहा है, तो DML किस पे काम करेगा? It will work on the data inside the tables. Okay. It will work on the data inside the databases or tables. What are DML statements? Let me give you an alternative name. Also known as, anyone can tell me what DML statements are known as? DML statements are also known as, interviews में that is a term which is most commonly, किसी ने अभी पहले crude बोला था. They are also known as crude operations. Okay. Where C stands for, no, create तो DDL हो गया. It basically means insert. Create ही है वो, but उसका meaning ये है कि insert the data inside the table. Okay. R stands for read or retrieve. Okay. And data कौन retrieve करेगा? Select. Okay. Whereas here C stands for insert. Let me write it in the capital. Okay. U stands for update. And D stands for delete. In the interviews, basically they use the term, instead of DML, they call it as crude operations. Okay. Insert the data inside the table, select the data from the table, update the data inside the table, or delete the data from the table. Okay. Then we have DCL. What options does it have? Grant and revoke. Meaning basically, or we can say grant or revoke the access to the databases. Like, who will have the right to view the data inside the databases? And someone who has the access to the databases, only those people can work with your this update, delete, create, alter, drop commands. वरना सिर्फ आप select लगा सकते हो. ठीक है. And lastly TCL. इसमें क्या आता है? Transaction control language. What does it include? Commit, rollback, save point. Okay, and there are other things also. Commit means what? Making changes permanent. आपने कुछ query लिखी update वाली, ठीक है, या मान लो आपने ऑल्टर की क्वेरी लिखी है, आप उसके चेंजेस परमानेंट करना चाहते हो, तो उसके लिए व्हाट वी हैव कमिट। अब गलती से आपसे डिलीट स्टेटमेंट रन ना हो जाए तो आप क्या चाहते हो, डिलीट मींस व्हाट, एक बात हमेशा याद रखो, डीएमएल ऑपरेशन सारे परमानेंट होते हैं बाय डिफॉल्ट, ठीक है। इंसर्ट, सेलेक्ट, अपडेट, डिलीट में से अगर आपने कुछ भी रन कर दिया, चेंजेस विल बी परमानेंट, इसमें अंडू नहीं चलेगा। बट अगर आपको वो अंडू करना है, मान लो गलती से आपने टेबल डिलीट कर दिया, आप क्या मैनेजर के पास दोबारा जाओगे कि मेरे को टेबल प्रोवाइड करो? नो। तो व्हाट डज इट हैपन? पहली बात, एडमिन डजंट गिव एक्सेस ऑफ द डेटाबेसेस और टेबल्स टू एवरीवन, पहली बात। दूसरी बात, अगर आपके पास एक्सेस है तो आप हमेशा क्या करोगे, जितनी भी आपकी वार्निंग वाली स्टेटमेंट्स होती हैं, वी ऑलवेज राइट विद इन दी टीसीएल ब्लॉक। अगर मेरे को मेरा कोई भी डिलीट ऑपरेशन अंडू करना है तो वो मेरे को कौन हेल्प करेगा? रोल बैक, ठीक है। ये हम लोग कल देखेंगे कि कैसे काम करेगा वो। एंड अनदर थिंग इज, आपने बहुत लंबा सीक्वल का कोड लिख दिया, एक मान लो 100 लाइंस का कोड था, ठीक है, आपको पता है कि फर्स्ट 50 लाइंस में कोई एरर नहीं है, उसके बाद आप क्या चाहते हो कि रादर देन कि मैं बार बार कोड को एग्जीक्यूट करूं, फर्स्ट 50 लाइंस के बाद आप क्या लिख दोगे? सेव पॉइंट। तो क्या होगा कि वो पहली 50 लाइंस है वो सेव हो जाएंगी एज इट इज, उसके बाद चाहे जो मर्जी चेंज करो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा पहली 50 लाइंस पे। दैट इज व्हाट सेव पॉइंट इज, व्हिच इज आल्सो नोन एज चेक पॉइंट। क्लियर टू एवरीवन? बट इन आवर मॉड्यूल व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू फोकस ऑन डीडीएल एंड डीएमएल, क्योंकि डीसीएल और टीसीएल की जो एक्सेस है ना वो एडमिन्स के पास हो, ठीक है। ओके, अब एक ई कॉमर्स वेबसाइट की एग्जांपल लेते हैं, एग्जांपल ऑफ ई कॉमर्स वेबसाइट। समटाइम्स व्हाट हैपेंस व्हेन वी आर ट्राइंग टू प्लेस एन ऑर्डर, हमारा ऑर्डर प्लेस नहीं होता, ट्रांजैक्शन फेल हो जाती है, व्हाई? रीजन बताओ अब। While placing an order for the customer, which tables will be affected? Tell me that. जब कोई ऑर्डर प्लेस होगा, कंफर्म होगा, कौन कौन से टेबल्स एक्शन में आएंगे? कस्टमर का टेबल इफेक्ट होगा, उसके बाद ऑर्डर टेबल, ओके, देन ट्रांजैक्शन, ओके, देन व्हाट एल्स? कैन आई से इन्वेंट्री? एनीथिंग एल्स? कोई और टेबल यूज होने वाला होगा? हो सकता है ना शिपमेंट टेबल अलग से भी हो, ठीक है, तो कंसिडर करो शिपमेंट टेबल अलग से है। अब मेरे को सीक्वेंस बताओ, किस सीक्वेंस में टेबल आपकी इफेक्ट होगी? These are the tables that will be used, correct? But in which sequence they will be affected? First table, which table will be used first? Inventory. मिंत्रा पे लिखा आता है ना 1 प्रोडक्ट लेफ्ट 2 प्रोडक्ट्स लेफ्ट, तो वो कैसे लिखा आता है? इन्वेंट्री में चेक होता है। मान लो मैंने अभी एक ऑर्डर प्लेस करा तो -1 हो जाएगा इन्वेंट्री में, ऑटोमेटिकली अपडेट कहाँ पे होगा? आपके एप्लीकेशन में। तो सबसे पहले हु गेट्स चेक? इन्वेंट्री, वेदर द आइटम इज देयर और नॉट। अगर वो इन्वेंट्री चेक ही नहीं होगी और मान लो पीछे से आइटम ही खत्म हो गई है, तो वो कहाँ पे लिखा आएगा फिर के इट्स आउट ऑफ स्टॉक? ओके, तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इन्वेंट्री टेबल गेट्स चेक्ड, उसके बाद कौन आएगा फिर? ट्रांजैक्शन टेबल, ऑर्डर टेबल। इन्वेंट्री में चेक हुआ कि प्रोडक्ट है, कस्टमर ने उसको अपने कार्ट में डाल दिया, उसको प्लेस भी कर दिया, ठीक है। जैसे ही उसने ऑर्डर को कंफर्म करा, ऑर्डर टेबल में ऑर्डर आईडी जनरेट हो गई। अब उस ऑर्डर आईडी के रिलेटेड कस्टमर आईडी भी इफेक्ट होगा, तो ऑर्डर आईडी जब तक टेबल इफेक्ट नहीं होगा तो मेरा कस्टमर टेबल भी नहीं होगा। वो अलग बात है, वो तो अलग टेक्निकल इशू कुछ भी हो सकता है, बट बैकएंड पे तो सीरीज ये फॉलो होगी। वो तो अलग हो गया ना, मैं हो सकता है आपसे पहले किसी ने ऑर्डर प्लेस कर दिया हो, प्रोसेस तो स्टिल सेम है, ठीक है। तो फर्स्ट इन्वेंट्री टेबल, देन ऑर्डर गेट्स प्लेस्ड, जैसे ही ऑर्डर प्लेस हुआ ऑर्डर आईडी जनरेट होगी। अब वो ऑर्डर आईडी किस कस्टमर के रिलेटेड जनरेट हुई है तो कस्टमर टेबल इफेक्ट होगा, ठीक है। अब उसके बाद कौन इफेक्ट होगा? ट्रांजैक्शन, ट्रांजैक्शन आईडी जनरेट हो जाएगी। इसके बाद कोई और है जो इफेक्ट होगा? शिपमेंट, इसके बाद कि खत्म? इन्वेंट्री भी तो अपडेट होगी अब, ठीक है। देन इन्वेंट्री गेट्स अपडेटेड अगेन, हम लोग कंसीडर ही नहीं कर रहे हैं, अगर वो कर रहे हो तो यस वो भी अफेक्ट होगा, ठीक है। तो उसमें रिटर्न स्टेटस आपका क्या आ जाएगा? 0, बट जैसे किसी ने रिटर्न कर दिया तो वो स्टेटस अपडेट से 0 से हो जाएगा 1, ठीक है। बट वी आर कंसीडरिंग दीज 5 टेबल्स। अब अगर ये सीक्वेंस आपका शफल हो जाए तब आपका मैसेज आता है ट्रांजेक्शन फेल्ड। ठीक है, देयर इज अ स्कीम, देयर इज अ फ्लो व्हिच इज वर्किंग एट द बैक एंड। अगर वो फ्लो में प्रोसेस आपका काम नहीं करेगा तो क्या होगा, ट्रांजेक्शन फेल्ड की मैसेज आ जाएगा। अब ट्रांजेक्शन फेल के दो ऑप्शन हो सकते हैं। पहला ये कि सारा कुछ फ्लो में था बट फिर क्यों ट्रांजेक्शन फेल हुई, प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है ना सर्वर एंड पे, पहला रीजन। दूसरा रीजन, सर्वर भी ठीक था बट आपका ट्रांजेक्शन फ्लो प्रॉपर नहीं था, तो उस केस में क्या आ सकता है, ट्रांजेक्शन फेल। कभी भी क्या पहले सबसे पहले ट्रांजेक्शन हमेशा चेक होगा, कभी भी नहीं होगा। ठीक है, और कोई भी कंपनी या वेबसाइट अगर ये स्कीम फॉलो नहीं कर रही है तो चांसेस आएंगे एम्बिग्यूटी आएगी डेटा टेबल में। क्लियर टू एवरीवन? ओके। Alright, I hope everyone has downloaded SSMS. ठीक है, तो one last topic for the today, then I'll close the class. We have something called INC rules. Those who are from the programming background, जिनको C, C++, Java आती है, tell me what's the full form of INC? Anyone from CSIT background? Online guys? Anyone knows what's the full form of INC? It stands for Identifier Naming Convention. अब तो अच्छा निकलेगा ही। What's the meaning of the term identifier? Who identifies something? Okay, for example, if I say age is equal to 20 and I am mentioning the data type as integer, what is the identifier over here? Age. 20 को कौन identify कर रहा है? Age variable. Here age will be known as identifier. Okay. Here age is identifier. What is 20? Identifier value. What is int? Of age. ठीक है, सेकेंड एग्जाम्पल ले लेते हैं. I take it as maybe string. String A is equal to, what is string? Data type. Data type of A. What is A? Identifier, which is also known as variable. Okay, and what is Python? Value. अब सबको क्लियर हो गया what is identifier? Name given to any value is known as identifier. Okay. अब ये जो नेम है identifier, क्या ये कुछ भी हो सकता है? No, इसके रूल्स हैं. Those are known as INC rules. Okay. Rule number 1. Rule number 1 is identifier can start from alphabet, or rather I should not say start. Identifier can have alphabets, digits, or special characters. First thing. Second, only special character allowed is, बताओ अब कौन सा स्पेशल कैरेक्टर अलाउड है? हाँ, allowed is only underscore, nothing else. No hyphens, no space, no full stop, nothing. Okay, if you try to use it, you will get an error. Rule number 3, an identifier can start with either alphabet or special character, underscore. That's it. Okay. An identifier, all this continuation to the point 3, but I'm making a different point. An identifier will never start from digit. Never. Okay. What will be the length of identifier? Can be anything. But we should keep it small and understandable. That's it. Now these rules are going to remain same in every language. Let it be SQL, let it be Python, let it be C, Java, any language you pick up, the rules will remain same. Rule number 6. Identifiers can't be same as that of keyword names. Now, what are keywords? They are also known as reserved words used to perform a specific task. For example, in the Excel, we have sum function. This sum is a keyword. क्या आप इसको किसी और चीज के लिए use कर सकते हो? No. Clear to everyone? Okay. So these are the 6 rules. Same rules you will study in your Python also. Okay. For example, if I say age is equals to 56, is it correct?
Yes.
If I say age 1 is equals to 56, is it correct?
Yes.
If I say age underscore 1 is equals to 56, correct?
Yes.
Underscore age is equals to 89.
Yes.
Correct. 1 age is equals to 78. This is wrong. Okay. If I say sum is equal to ABC, is it correct? ये चल तो जाएगा, बट अगर आपने इनबिल्ट सम फंक्शन यूज करने की कोशिश करी तो पता क्या होगा, वो सम चलेगा ही नहीं, वो हमेशा एबीसी कंसीडर करेगा. ठीक है, तो अगेन आई वुड से इट्स रॉन्ग. ओके, ऑल्दो दीज आर करेक्ट. क्लियर है सबको? ठीक है. So that's it for today. Tomorrow we are going to discuss these SQL statements in detail. But the task for today, the questions which you are going to answer today, drop versus delete versus truncate. यहाँ से ढूंढ के आना कल. Okay, and I'm giving you a hint. I want the difference with respect to constraint. Okay, one is DML, one is DDL. That is the basic difference. Main difference which the interviewers look for is with constraint के basis पे क्या difference. ठीक है? Any doubts in the today's class? Online guys, any doubt? Okay, let me take the attendance then.